What up, Cowboys Nation and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic. At least I hope so for some of y'all, because Lord knows it's another loser Monday. 2 times in 3 weeks. And again, it looks like the Denver game, it looked like nobody showed up. The Kansas City game, it looked like the offense didn't show up. But you know, there's some things about that. One, I'm not even going to talk about the refs, because Lord, that story gets so tired and tedious to say that there's blown calls, there's missed no calls, you know, stuff like that. You just get tired of saying it. Dak at times looked dreadful. His ball placement was just inaccurate, and it caused a lot of problems. The offensive line was no freaking help, and I'll talk about that later. Wide receivers, no freaking help dropping stuff, and I'll talk about that later. But the defense was a high spot. They did their jobs. Micah Parsons is a beast. I don't know if you can say he's not Defensive Player of the Year. Forget rookie. It's just straight Defensive Player of the Year. That boy is a beast, and imagine what's going to happen when other players come back. For the most part, they held Kansas City on lock for pretty much the whole game. You know, a couple things got, behind the defense due to miscommunication, but all in all, they stood up where they had to. They got turnovers, but offense just couldn't put points on the board when they needed them. But here's where I'm going to start talking about the offense. Okay, Dak being inaccurate, fine. That's fine, but he hit some spots where the ball needed to be, and his wide receivers just dropped it. Can't do that. Wide receivers, they needed to step up their game without Coop being there, and especially when CD went out. And they did not step up. They had horrible drops, some miscommunication. They just couldn't get any kind of space. They were locked down the whole time. I mean, what you gonna do when they're all on top of you? They crowded the box and handled y'all man on man. That's not good. That just goes to prove that without an Amari Cooper or a CD Lamb to take double teams or triple teams, this offense is going to have a whole hard time of moving the ball through the air, because these guys don't scare anybody. Michael Gallup, he's back, but he doesn't scare anybody. So they're not going to worry about having double teams on him most of the game. And even if they did, it's still one-on-one across the rest of the board that's taking everybody else out. There's no threat from the running backs to catch anything. And most of that was just on screen games, which they blew up. The tight end, Schultz and McKeon, they tried their best, but nothing was happening there. But it just couldn't work. Offensive line, it was just too much at one time. You've moved Terrence Steele to left tackle for the 3rd time in, his career. And the first outing was horrible. Second outing was better, but it was Atlanta. And this outing, he was up and down. And it didn't help that Connor Williams was replaced by Connor McGovern next to him. So that veteran presence of left tackle or left guard was just not there, and it showed. That left side was a sieve, and they were just getting crushed. Tyler Biadasz, he held his own for the most part, but he got penalized. Zach Martin was put on skates in some plays. And La'el Collins, I don't know what the fuck went bad on him. It's like he just stopped playing. Terrence Steele, it's like he missed the snap count on one play. And that's embarrassing. It's just too many moves at one time that didn't work. So all the Connor Williams haters that were calling for McGovern to take his job, in 1 week sample size, Connor Williams can't play center, and Connor McGovern isn't ready to play left guard. That's just not going to happen. We need Tyron Smith back, and we need Connor Williams back. Just put the offensive line back to where it was, because this experiment blew up in our face again. Dak was just terrorized in the backfield all game long. You had no open running lanes. Your pass protection was shit. So don't do that again. Yeah, wide receivers, of course, the depth was there, but they couldn't get separation. So that just ended their day. Tight ends pretty much had to stay in and block most of the time, and that's why they couldn't get out and get into routes. And Dak didn't have time to get him the ball if he wanted to. It was just not going their way. The one complaint I have about the defense, Dan Quinn, why, or what film were you looking at that said the best way to guard Tyreek Hill was giving him a goddamn 5 to 7 yard cushion to take off? I couldn't understand it. All game long, y'all manned up on him, but y'all stood 10 yards off the ball. So Tyreek Hill just gets a running start, and the yards after catch was easy as hell because they already had a running start. I don't know why y'all didn't press them at the line, knock them off their routes, and make them have to get momentum, but that was just not in your freaking scope of possibility. I don't know why. Because if I know this guy can outrun the fuck out of me, I'm going to make sure he doesn't get started. He's not coming off the line without me shoving his ass to the ground or something. Y'all just let the man get free reign, and by the time he caught the ball, he's already into the wind, gone, dust. And it showed how many times they played so far off of him that by the time your safeties or corners got anywhere near him, he was already 15 yards downfield. It was pathetic. Van Der Esch, he looked bad. He missed open tackles. I don't know what to say. Micah Parsons was like the only bright spot that really helped. The defense tried their best. But again, as much chunk plays y'all gave them, I don't know why you don't get on top of Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. These guys are the only two threats, and you let them get free reign. I don't know. Coaching wasn't the best. Defense, like I said, Dan Quinn decided to man up on somebody, but give them 10-yard cushions. I don't know who the hell would have thought to do that against that kind of offense, because it's nothing but a foot race, and you let them get enough yardage to start that foot race. Stupid idea. Kellen Moore, I give kudos because he did try to switch it up. He made some trick plays, some with wildcat moves. He tried the double and triple reverse that Dak threw a little high and Cedric couldn't pull in, so that blew up in our face. We had no running lane, so that didn't work. I, for one, would have liked you to get the running backs out into open space, east and west, and then go north-south, but you decided to run them right up the gut, and when you're running into a freaking 8 to 9 man box, that was never going to work. It just looked like Jason Garrett era shit there. Dak couldn't step up and go because there was guys all in his face, so the ball's usually batted down or he's taking sacks. It was just bad. Mike McCarthy, I give him credit. He was fired up on that sideline. He saw what we saw. When there were no calls or some blatant kind of BS calls, oh, he was in that ref's ass that was right next to him. But you can't complain the referee or you get in trouble, because the refs have no accountability. But yeah, I mean, it was a game where we could have won handedly if the offense showed up, but they didn't. So it is what it is. 9-19. We got to take that L. Quick turnaround and play Vegas Raiders on Thanksgiving at home at least. So we won't have the problem of, the away crowd going against us. So we'll have to see what kind of adjustments they're going to have to make, because you're not going to have Coop. You're probably not going to have CD. So it's going to be all on Gallup, Said, and Brown again. Schultz, if he can get open, and McKeon, and maybe a little more Pollard to Zeke. But Zeke, I forgot he's a little dinged up. darn it. Lost my button again. So he's a little banged up, so who knows how effective he'll be. Because he got rolled up on, his ankle got rolled up on in the game, so who knows how healthy he's going to be with a couple of days off and right back to work. So we'll just have to see what happens come Thanksgiving. I'm hoping that we could pull one out, because Lord knows my brother can't wait till we lose. I mean, I've only heard the guy 3 times this year, and that's only when we lose. The rest of the year, he ain't said a word. So how about them Cowboys, bro? Because Pittsburgh didn't do no better last night either. But that's all I wanted to talk about today. Quick turnaround. Now we got an eye on the Raiders and hopefully get back in the win column. We're still leading the East, and we're still in 3rd place playoff seeding wise right now. Every chance we get to take a step up, we're just blowing it. But I think the last month of the season, when it's basically Giants, Washington, Giants, Washington, Arizona, and Philly in December and January, that's going to be where we finish this off and hopefully just take the division and get into the playoffs and see where we go from there. But that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys take care. Stay safe out there. This is VA Dallas Cowboy fan. Out.